Julio César Chávez was born with a legacy already carved into boxing history. As the son of Mexico's most revered fighter, his name carried the promise of greatness long before he ever stepped into the ring. For millions of fans, he was meant to be an extension of a national hero, a fighter who would defend the honor of a dynasty built on grit, sacrifice, and endless rounds under the harsh lights of the arena. And for a time, he did. In 2011, Chávez captured the WBC middleweight title, thrilling crowds with his relentless style and raw talent. He fought in sold-out stadiums, earned millions in pay-per-view bouts, and basked in the pride of a family name that once united a country hungry for hope and triumph. To many, he was proof that the bloodline of champions still ran strong. But as the lights dimmed and the roar of the crowd faded, Chávez's life outside the ring began to unravel. Fame brought fortune, but also temptation, reckless choices, and the shadows of the underworld that have always lurked near power in Mexico. His early brushes with the law were written off as the stumbles of a troubled celebrity. In 2012, he pleaded no contest to driving under the influence in Los Angeles, a humiliating moment for a man whose father was celebrated for discipline and endurance. Then came reports of failed drug tests, wild partying, and rumors of connections far more dangerous than the temptations of nightlife. In January 2024, Chávez was convicted for possessing illegal firearms. 2 AR-style ghost rifles with no serial numbers, built to disappear into the underworld's arsenal. By then, whispers of deeper criminal ties were swirling in both Mexican and US circles. But few could have imagined what came next. In March 2023, Mexican prosecutors issued an arrest warrant that stunned even those familiar with the country's intersection of fame and crime. They alleged that Chávez had become more than just a troubled athlete. He had crossed a line that few dare approach. According to official indictments, he was working as an enforcer for the Sinaloa cartel, the same brutal organization long blamed for some of Mexico's bloodiest years of violence. Wiretapped calls and insider testimony paint a chilling picture. Authorities claim that between 2021 and 2022, Chávez was no longer using his fists to win belts. He was using them to punish. He allegedly tortured rival cartel members on orders from Nestor Ernesto El Nini Perez Salas, a feared figure in the Sinaloa hierarchy. Intercepted conversations suggest that captured men were tied up, suspended, and beaten by the man once hailed as Mexico's boxing prince. One chilling phrase keeps echoing through those wiretaps. He used them like punching bags. If true, the transformation is tragic. A world champion reduced to muscle for a cartel. A fighter trading the roar of the crowd for screams in hidden safe houses. But the story didn't stop at the border. After his conviction for illegal firearms in the US, Chávez re-entered the country in August 2023 on a tourist visa, staying in a lavish Los Angeles home while his immigration status quietly expired. By February 2024, he was living in the country illegally. Instead of leaving, he applied for permanent residency, a process now believed to have been riddled with false claims and suspicious paperwork, including what prosecutors say were fraudulent details about his marriage to Frida Muñoz. To federal agents, it was a final insult. A disgraced athlete linked to one of the world's most powerful cartels, living freely in the US while wanted in Mexico for organized crime. Homeland Security called him an egregious public safety threat and vowed to make him answer for both his past crimes and the new allegations that stained the Chávez name. On July 2, 2025, ICE agents moved in. The arrest was quiet but symbolic. The son of a hero, Taken from a plush neighborhood in Los Angeles, no longer a champion, but a fugitive in handcuffs. Now he sits in federal custody as deportation proceedings unfold. Mexico wants him back to stand trial for organized crime and weapons trafficking, charges that could carry decades behind bars. His father, the original Julio César Chávez, has not spoken at length about the scandal. But for a man who fought for his people's pride, the silence says everything. This is no longer the story of a boxer rising to meet his father's greatness. It is a cautionary tale about how fame can be corrupted, how the bright lights of the arena can cast the darkest shadows, and how a family legacy built on sweat and sacrifice can be shattered by betrayal and bloodshed. For millions who once cheered his name, it is a reminder that even heroes' sons can fall. And for Mexico, it is yet another lesson that in a land where crime and power dance so closely, no one, not even a legend's bloodline, is untouchable.